Hey guys, so today is part 2 of my garden bed refresh. If you missed part 1, I'll go ahead and link it in the cards above. But really what I focused on in part 1 was really just editing out the things in my space that weren't working well. So if you remember, between when the daffodils had stopped blooming and the hydrangeas had not yet started blooming, everything was basically the same texture, all that tall grassy feel, and just kind of one height and one note. There wasn't a whole lot of interest in the garden bed. There wasn't a whole lot of color to it. So what I ended up doing was removing a lot of those things, such as daffodils and things of that nature, and trimming back a lot of things that just look completely overgrown to make the space look a lot more manageable. It's been about a week now, and things have really started to flush out because we've had a lot of rain and it gave things more of a chance to grow. So what ended up happening was I'm noticing some more things that probably need to be moved around, namely the daylilies. So the daylilies are really starting to go into the grasses that are surrounding the water fountain, and it just doesn't look as appealing as it can be. So today I'm going to take the daylilies and actually move them to a different part of the garden bed, which I think that they're going to do just as well with. And then I'm going to add some plants back in slowly. So here's what I've got in terms of what's going to go back into the garden bed. First thing is this Nova Flame Mugenia. Now this is new to me. I haven't actually heard of this before, but it came highly recommended from the garden center. The interesting part about this is that while the leaves look fairly green right now, in the sun as they age, they get this really dark red burgundy type of margin. And it looks really cool because it almost looks like a bicolored leaf. And then from a flower standpoint, they also get these really pretty, very dainty, dark pink flowers. And so they're a great border plant. So they are full sun. They are deer resistant, which is great. Even though this is on the inside of the fence for me, I don't get a lot of deer, thank God. But they are deer resistant, which is great in our area. They go from late spring all the way to late summer. So the bloom time is quite nice in terms of that. They grow about 6 to 12 inches high and have a spread of about 8 to 10 inches. So they're a great border plant. And they are hardy from zones 3 all the way down to zone 9. So a nice big hardy zone. Now these are perennial. They will die all the way back to the ground come the winter, but they're going to be a great add for some interest in the spring and summertime. The other thing that I'm going to be adding in is this Ligularia Pandora. Now these get really interesting yellow spiky flowers in the late summer. So these won't be competing with anything that's flowering right now, but that's okay because really the only reason why I'm adding it back in right now is because of the dark leaves. So this is going to add some of that different texture that I'm looking for, as well as some of that different color. It doesn't always need to come from flowers. You can also look for different textures and colors within the leaves themselves, and that is the purpose of what this is. This is the purpose that this is serving. So this in particular is another one that's going to be great for either a ground cover or your border. This gets 12 to 16 inches high and about 16 to 20 inches wide, so a decent size spread on that. And it is hardy from zones 6 to 9. So this hardiness zone is a little bit tighter than the Mugenia. I'm going to add in 2 different colors of clematis or clematis, depending on where you're from. I've heard it said both ways. Now I'm going to have these growing up a tall arch. That is going to add some vertical interest back into the bed over on the right hand side. If you're looking at the bed, it's going to be towards the right hand side. And I'm going to add in a total of 3 clematis, but 2 different colors so that they grow into each other and have a variety as they're growing on that trellis. So the first one is Clematis Boulevard Sarah Elizabeth. It is a double clematis with a nice pink bloom. And then this second one is Boulevard Tranquillité. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that name, but this is more of a lavender color. Now I have clematis also along the fence line here down in my lower yard, so I think this is going to add some nice rhythm and repetition and tie those garden beds together as well. And it also goes with the color palette during this time of year in terms of those pinks and lavenders and light purples that I like to have throughout the garden beds. In terms of process, I'm going to be amending the soil the same way I always do, which is adding in some biotone starter fertilizer, because anytime I plant anything new or even transplant something, that really helps the roots to establish themselves in their new area. The one thing that I am going to be adding in that I don't always add in is gypsum. So this bed is really heavy clay soil still, especially in the lower part of the bed, which is the left-hand side if you're looking at it, or where the willows are. And I really want to start making sure that that soil is getting broken up, and adding just a little bit of gypsum every time you plant is something that's really going to help that. Other than that, let's go ahead and get started. All right guys, it is a little bit later in the day here. I did need to stop and do a couple of other things, but I'm really starting to be happy with how this bed is starting to shape up. Now I do still have a little bit of work. Once the lilies are done blooming, I am going to go ahead and group those together, but I didn't want to kind of interfere with their blooming cycle or the blooming schedule, so I'm just leaving them as is. So that's going to be done a little bit later in the season. I'm excited to see how the daylilies are going to fill in around the base of the willow. I think that they will do okay there. it's a test because it does get a little bit more on the soggy side if we do get heavy downpours, which only happens a couple times a year. So I'm really hoping that the gypsum is going to really help with that. I am also going to continue to amend with compost, which should just help in general, but it's not going to necessarily fix it 100%. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have any questions at all, and also let me know if you're redoing any of your spaces or are even considering redoing anything because you just really don't like the way that it looks anymore. I hope you guys are having a good day, and I will see you in the garden.